too?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you look familiar.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Okay. What is up, Internet world, and welcome back to Accelerate. My name is Mike, and the man behind the camera is Ian, and today we bring you the 2023 Toyota Prius. So this is the 2023 all-new Prius. It's in its 5th generation and it's been redesigned from inside and out. It's completely different from the last Prius. So we're gonna touch feel it right here at the Chicago Auto Show. Now the new Prius is built on Toyota's new battery platform. It sits lower, it's wider, and it's supposed to give the driver a more dynamic feel behind the wheel. So there are 3 trim levels, the LE, the XLE, and of course, in Toyota fashion, it's the Limited. It has a starting price of 28 and change all the way up to 35 and change US dollars. But if we start the front here, again, same sort of vibe with vehicles in 2023. It's very forward facing. I'm seeing these multiple bumper cuts. So you have the first one that comes down, it wraps around. You have this little overlap, it creates some shadowing. And you have this LED signature light that comes on the top, slides all the way down the bottom. And then you see this projector headlight right there. And now with these lights on, you can see how the DRLs wrap all the way from the top all the way into the bottom. Now again, this is not a full EV, it is a hybrid, so they're actually encompassing some ICE design here. Usually EVs are boring and flat, but this thing has a little bit of edge to it. Right behind here is where all your radar systems would be hiding, underneath this big Toyota badge. And again, they do have a placement that's incorporated for the front license plate. A lot of vehicles you have to screw them in, but this one's molded right into the bumper. Moving down, you have this black trim that goes from end to end, and then you have a bit of a lower valence that has some edging out at the bottom. And moving down from this Parktronic sensors is your fog lights. I didn't even notice them at first until Ian told me that there are fog lights down here. I'm usually seeing round fog lights, but these are sharp, they're skinny, and they're right at the bottom of this front bumper. Now, Prius only has one engine offering. That's a 2-liter that makes 194 horsepower in its all-wheel drive fashion. Now, the all-wheel drive portion actually doesn't give you any engine power to the back. This is all done through an electric motor. That's cool, different, but cool. Now, one of the biggest changes about this specific new generation Prius is its performance. The last generation went to 60 in about 10 seconds or so, which was slow as anything. But this version does it to 60 in 7 seconds. That's a lot faster. 3 seconds on a generation difference is massive, and that's what you get in this 2023 Toyota Prius. So to the side, if you look at the wheels, they are 19-inch wheels because this is an XLE trim. 17s are standard on the model below this. You also have this piano black trim that goes all the way around the inner upper fender liner right here, which is kind of strange because that will get stone chipped out essentially. On the bottom here you have all-wheel drive, letting everybody know that this is all-wheel drive. Now moving up, you will see this has a massive side mirror. There's no camera attached to this whatsoever, so this one would not have 360 camera. As I move down, you will see it's actually low. It feels very sporty, which is strange because the Prius has always been kind of high. This one's very slow, angular, more sporty-like. Now, if the key's in your pocket, you just walk up this door, touch the handle, it'll unlock. And for the back here, there's no handle. They have this flush, seamless look around this upper black trim above the wheel well. But the handle is right here. You see, I push this, it's a button. It's an electric button I have to push that opens up this door. And as we move down to the back, this part looks very coupe-like. Looks like a Kia K5 / maybe Mustang Mach-E vibe over here. I would never think this is a Toyota Prius. If someone took a picture of this and said, hey, what car is this? Toyota Prius? Not this one. Now to the back is where you have a lot of contrast color, a lot of black going on up here, and then again, body color on the bottom. So if we start at the top here, you will see that the way this is designed, this is a full liftgate or sportback style design. It's not simply just a trunk, it's the whole panel lifts up and over. Now you have this big, long, black spoiler. Moving down, you have your third brake light, your Toyota badge, which seems to be printed on like a photocopy machine. Very, very basic. And then you have your long light bar that stretches from end to end to widen up the car. Obviously you have your XLE badge and then the Prius, P-R-I-U-S. And then O-H-E-V, baby, right there. Now let me show you how this trunk opens. It opens like this. And again, lots of space, nice and wide. I'm gonna measure this for you just as soon as I finish talking about the lower part of the bumper, where you have your Parktronic. So when you back up, obviously you get the beepings, and then below that you have where your plate would go. And because this is a hybrid, there are no tailpipes, visually speaking, from the back, but it's right here. So when you open up the trunk here, let's see how much room you have. As far as width goes, you have 35 inches, and how much depth do you have? 32. Wow, I was way off. But here's the cool part actually, or maybe not so cool part, is the depth. I feel like I'm missing it. As far as depth, I don't have a ton. Let me see. Just entry point here, I have 15 inches, which is pretty low. Let's see if this load floor actually goes down. No, but I have this crazy white styrofoam piece where I can put multiple different objects. That's interesting. Back seat of the Toyota Prius. You know what's funny? This is not normal. We don't actually film that many Toyotas. We're trying to build some contacts so we can build more Toyotas or film more Toyotas for you guys. So I've never actually sat in the back of a Prius. This is kind of strange. There's no sunroof. That's the first obvious thing. Oh, what's going on? But it's not black headliner, so I don't feel that claustrophobic. And the synthetic leather feels pretty decent. It feels pretty durable, but look at the stretch that I'm getting out of this material. Feels like it's designed to just be used and abused. How much cup holders do we have? We got 2 of them right here. Do the seats fold flat? And the answer is yes. They do fold, not sure flat. Let's try this bad boy out and see. Yes, they do fold actually flat because it's got a pretty high load floor from the back. It does have 2 map lights right above me. It does have obviously 3 full seat belts. It's got the latch for the kids, pretty straightforward stuff. But how about buttons and USBs? Well, it's got the windows and that's about it. There's no climate control whatsoever back here. There is 2 USB-Cs hiding underneath there. And I do have only one place to put stuff in the back and it's right behind the passenger seat. There's nothing for me behind the driver's seat. It feels good, like the seat comfort feels really good. There's just a lot of plastic. It feels very, very bare bones. Inside the all-new 2023 Prius, we managed to get the key and actually start it inside so you can see how everything's laid out. I do have a driver's display that's not typical. It's actually way further out in the dash than I'm usually accustomed to. But anyways, more on that in a minute. If I start off with the door panel, there are no memory seat. You simply jump in, drive it. There are adjustments for your mirrors. You do have, obviously, power windows on all 4 sides, and they are auto all the way up. Now on the dash here, you do have auto high beams. You actually have a heated windshield button and then a heated steering wheel button. The steering wheel though, I will say, is very weird looking. It has this weird plastic futuristic design where it just looks like it's so far from that dash, and I think it takes getting used to because most people are not going to be used to this. But hey, I guess if you're buying a Prius, you don't care about everything else. So on the steering wheel itself, you have different menu options where you can adjust the driver's display by hitting this button. Then you have the phone button to the right of it, and then you have a toggle that has up, down, left, or right, because there's no other way to actually adjust anything on this display besides the steering wheel. I do have the volume button, the voice button, your adaptive cruise control, keep you in your lane, and then a whole bunch of different modes right all on the steering wheel. So this steering wheel is very, very busy. If you're used to a steering wheel that has a few buttons, this is going to take some getting used to. And again, this driver's display, tough for 2023, but hey, it's just got your very, very basic information. It tells you the outside temperature, if you're in EV mode, the speed you're driving, what gear you're in, park, check engine light, and then if the power's on or not. And that's pretty much it with this driver's display. It doesn't get fancy, it doesn't get exciting. There's no spirited excitement you get from looking at this display. Now we'll get into this little screen at the end, but it does look like an afterthought if I'm being honest. Underneath it, it does say Prius right there, and then you have your vents that are nice, slim, and sleek. And then of course you have your power button, very straightforward, very easy to use. And underneath that you have your ambient strip that goes from end to end. In this specific case, it is blue. Moving down, you have your heated seats, 3 increments of heated seats. You have your front defrost, of course, your automatic, and then a little display that shows you exactly what temperature it is, but also how much fan speed you have and where the air is flowing to. And to the right of that, you have your other buttons, your recirculation and keeping the air in the vehicle, along with your heated seats for the passenger side. Now moving down from there is where you have 2 more USB-Cs, one on the left here and one on the right for the passenger. And then to the right of that, you have a cigarette lighter where you can plug stuff in. There's this little button here that you slide up for a further compartment that goes underneath it. So there's 2 storage compartments, one at the top of this little plastic piece and one hiding underneath. Now moving down from that, you have your 2 cup holders that is surrounded by piano black trim, which is going to cause a lot of fingerprints. As you can see, this is an auto show car and it's filthy at the present time. Maybe if you carry a cloth with you everywhere you go, you can clean it and make it fancy in your own vehicle. Now moving down from that, you have the shift knob where you have park as a specific button, and then you have your drive modes, your electromechanical parking brake, your stability program, EV mode, and of course, brake hold. Now moving to the right of this is where you have your wireless charger, where you simply take your phone and slide it in and it will charge. Now what's really interesting is that they have it here, but at first glance, I believed that it was right here. But this is actually not a wireless charging area, which it should be really, because this is for the passenger, and the passenger should put their phone there, and the driver should put their phone right here. So you have 2 places to charge your phone. Come on, man, this is 2023. Pump it up, everybody. Not just the Prius, it's everyone that has not done this as yet. Now here's your center console storage compartment. I can tell you that this feels very cheap, if I'm being honest. Not a ton of padding, and it kind of goes up over here. It has a line right here that I can feel with my fingers. But what about the space underneath? I will lift this up and I will tell you that it is not deep either. You probably have about this much of the iPhone of depth, and you have 2 USBs though, so hey, 2 USB-Cs there, 2 USB-Cs there, and 2 USB-Cs in the back. So a total of 6 USB-Cs in this 2023 Toyota Prius. So the Prius has 4 different drive modes: custom, sport, normal, and eco, as you can see right here on the driver's display. Now this is an 8-inch touch display, but you can opt for the 12.3-inch touchscreen that is standard on a Limited or optional on this XLE. So we're at the Chicago Auto Show, and normally our videos are way more in depth, way more quality driven, but it's kind of hard to do when you have all this press behind waiting to get their hands on this brand new 2023 Toyota Prius. But we did the best we could on the first look. So if you haven't hit our channel before, my name is Mike and the man behind the camera is Ian, and we are Accelerate, and we would love it if you hit the subscribe button and watch more of our stuff. We'll catch you in the next one.